Welcome back to the Wingin podcast. As you can probably tell, we're in one on video,
Yes.
and two, we're in a new spot. I mean, you wouldn't know any different because you've not seen a video of us
that's
before.
true. We've managed to upgrade. And we
Yeah,
can get
from a
more
little
guests
closet.
on, hopefully.
Yeah, well, I think this move is quite a cool move because I just want to say a massive thank you to the motorist and the Anage. It's the same place.
Yeah.
For allowing us to do this because. We're no longer tucked away in a little closet at the back of Sherburn Aeroco recording.
Humble beginnings.
Yeah,
Humble
literally.
beginnings.
But yeah, massive thank you. I'll drop a link in the description below for the guys on YouTube and also on the Spotify and where else I can do it. Check them out. So if you're in the Sherburn area, or if you're flying into Sherburn,
Yeah, no, I'd definitely say it's a place to come and visit, especially on a weekend. They host events. They're mainly car orientated,
But we spend most of our time here, don't we? Like,
yeah, we do. we do.
The coffee's good, the food's good.
Yeah. We definitely recommend.
Yeah, if only
Come and see 'em.
if only there weren't planes in it. But nah, it's a sweet place to come. So yeah, check them out for sure. And obviously you can tell this room's pretty stunning. You won't be able to see around outside of the cameras, but it's pretty stunning. But yeah, thank you very much to the motorist and the Anage.
So you've just come back. We've actually both been really busy with exams, ATPLs, and down at Bristol, at Gloucester. That's one thing. All the exams seem to be
In the
down
south.
south.
Yeah, I've had this conversation with a few people, and it does my head in.
We got to travel.
Because surely an exam centre is not a place where you need to be focused around. It doesn't have to be at an airfield or. It's like a GCSE exam. You can take it anywhere as long as the invigilator's there.
Yeah, I guess. I've never thought about that. But then again, CAA. You try and sort it out
I guess
with
the
them.
CA is based down south, so in terms of getting a lot of their staff are probably based down there. So there's probably reasoning behind it, but please open an exam centre north.
Yeah, we need to get a school to convince them to try and apply for it.
Well,
She need permission.
Because I don't think I mentioned, but I lost my car. Let's put it that way. So I'm having to drive my sister's Ford KA, right?
Yeah.
So I've gone from not having cruise control, not having a comfy seat. No, sorry, it's from having a comfy seat, having cruise control to just a little box, tin box.
Basically my car.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I hope it doesn't rattle at 40 mile an hour. But I had to drive down to Gloucester 3.5 hours
Oh, it's horrible.
at 4:30 a.m. It was the worst drive of my life.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
And then I had to jump
you
straight to an
drove
exam.
From your house all the way down for the exam in the morning.
Yeah, I had to. I was meant to be going on Sunday, but things happened. I lost my car.
I bet you were knackered.
Oh yeah, big time. But that's what I'm saying.
Couldn't
Like,
do that.
yeah,
But that's the other thing you have to take into account when you do exams: accommodation and food, and obviously I know
it's a
there's
lot
some
more
people.
expensive than you think, innit?
Oh yeah. Oh,
You think
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
an exam fee, but realistically, you've got 30 quid a night if you're lucky
Yeah.
of accommodation. You got to cover your food. It's
Oh,
more
is
like
it? Most places are a lot more than £30. We're fortunate at Bristol, but everywhere else is a lot more.
I can imagine if Bristol Ground School was in the centre of Bristol, my God, it'd be expensive.
It's in Clevedon.
It's a nice little town, isn't it?
Yeah, it actually is.
I've never heard of it in my life.
Can't fault it. I've been there. I've driven past once. But no, Bristol Ground School itself is a good school. I'll give
big
them that.
time.
The instructors are great and they're a good laugh. All got a lot of experience in aviation.
Oh yeah, I was talking to the instructors when I was down there, and I mean they're probably the same instructors, but one of them's working at Boeing as a I want to say test pilot. He tests kind of like stuff like position errors and stuff, you know, for all pitot tubes and whatever. Yeah, he does that. Another one works on as a contractor a lot of time out in like Saudi and stuff, you know, for the oils flying. A lot of them were helicopter pilots, which is a bit weird. They must have a lot of time on their hands, helicopter pilots.
Yeah.
But yeah, another one worked in the military.
Found a few of them worked in the military or the Navy.
The legend that is John Jones.
John Jones?
Yeah, did you have him?
No.
You don't have him? Well, he's so obviously when I went down to Bristol, I was the only one in the class.
Yeah.
Everyone else was online.
That was a legend when I went. Everyone was talking about that one person that came the other week that was on his own.
What can I say? But yeah, this a guy called John Jones, ex-military guy, and I'd seen him in all the webinars. Finally, obviously met him, and then just out of nowhere, he just drops that his first flight of the day. He just drops that he's what would you call it? His son's father-in-law. Has that got a phrase?
Yeah.
Is Sir Clive Woodward. And I don't know if you've heard of Sir Clive Woodward.
No.
But big time rugby legend. He was like, so when England won the World Cup, he was the coach. Like he took England rugby union from an amateur game to winning the World Cup in 2003 against Australia. Unreal.
Really?
But like for me, obviously I've grown up with rugby and stuff. So like when he dropped that, I was just like, what? I was like, how did you casually drop that? But yeah, he's a cool guy. There was another guy, I can't remember his name, but he was a navigator at the start, so actually it was quite interesting. Even though his teacher met, he was a navigator.
Oh yes.
And like he's saying that he used to have to like
no, what was his name?
Position targets move whilst he's moving. Oh, I sound really dumb saying it, but like when he was explaining to me, my head was just like, whoa. Like I'm there struggling to, maybe not struggling, but I'm there just like using that whiz wheel for hours on end to try and find one win.
I didn't really have that much time to speak to them as much as I wanted to. I mean, I was talking to a lot of the other students who were there in person. But some of the stories they were saying, I can't say all of them. And
yeah, NDAs.
I think one thing they did say is they're not woke.
Yeah.
Not exactly woke people. Because they are old school, but...
and military guys, so they've seen a lot, man.
Oh, yeah. One thing they actually did say, I don't know how true this is, so they were teaching about the yaw dampener.
Yeah.
Yaw damper on aircraft. Dampener or damper? I think it's damper.
Look at damper.
Yeah.
We probably sound really stupid now.
Yeah, we definitely should know this.
when you've seen the word so many times, you just can't comprehend it.
Oh no. And he was saying that so this prevents Dutch roll, which for anyone who's watching and doesn't know, in the aircraft is when the back end starts to basically spin. And you lose control, so the front stays relatively stable, but the back end
I don't think they lose
circles.
control.
No,
it just creates an oscillation that's really like inefficient.
Yeah, and basically, you don't want Dutch roll happening, and what they do is, if they ever get a stag party or hen do on, they put them at the back of the plane and turn the yaw damper off. So then it changes it by 4 hertz in frequency, which is enough to make people feel sick. So all the people, these like stag do's or hen parties, are sat at the back of the plane.
Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, this is what he said.
What year is he talking? Surely we wouldn't get away with that.
Like recent.
Oh, real?
Apparently they still do it. Yeah. They sit them at the back of the plane and turn it off, and they're all quiet because they feel really sick.
That's clever, that, actually.
Well,
I think that takes a pilot's brain to work that out.
Well, yeah, it's less hassle for the flight attendants as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean...
That's a pretty good idea, is that?
Is it?
If they actually do it. I don't know how true, but...
We'll have to ask Alex, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they do it. But, some of the stories, like, that people can come out with, you just wouldn't think were true. Like, so... Obviously, like, I just come back from Cyprus. I flew back on Friday. 2.5 hour delay. Oh, whoa. Right, so first things first. My mate was coming out with me, but he was coming out a day later.
Yeah.
Flying to Manchester, right? Obviously. And bearing in mind, I can't recall the last time I've had a delay going out to Cyprus, and I've been going there for like 14 years. Like, EasyJet have just been so efficient. And the one time he flies, he messages me and he's like, oh, flight's early. I'm just like, sick, like, cause I'm going to go pick him up, and the flight don't land till about 11, so I'm like, oh, sick,
at
like,
night.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, chill, like, sweet. I'm like watching the Champions League football means I can just go straight to because of the time difference. Champions League's at like 9 a.m. Not 9 a.m. 9 p.m. So I can just drive straight to the airport after the final whistle. And then he messages me and he goes, yeah, flight's delayed by 40 minutes. I was like, oh, fair enough. But then he goes, yeah, there's a mechanical issue with the plane, and they're having to we're having to switch planes, which in my head I'm like, well, they've got a spare plane. Somehow they've got a spare plane.
Yeah.
That sounds like you wouldn't tell them that they're going to switch in plane if you've not got a plane.
Yeah.
And then he messages me about 20 minutes later, goes, turns out it's not a plane. So our flight's delayed indefinitely. And I'm just like, because the thing with Cyprus as well is Cyprus is always at the end of the days. I think we were discussing with Alex in a podcast that hasn't been released yet because I've not got around to editing it.
Yeah.
But Cyprus, because it's such a long haul flight, it's 4 hours, 5 hours.
For short haul.
Well, it's technically medium haul.
Yeah.
It's that long. So they always whack it at the end of the day, so they can get to like Malaga, like the 2 hour hops quickly, and then they can put someone on that on the flight out there.
Yeah.
So, but the flight he was getting on, so when they go out, they have to collect everyone. Obviously, it's a two-way thing. They always come back. So there's people in Paphos airport at that point who just sat waiting, and they have to get them because, well, I don't know what they do, like, because it's such a busy route. I don't know what they do. Like, I guess they could cancel it, but then they're getting a bad rep.
Yeah.
So,
Surely they charter a different airline to pick
well,
them up.
I think that's what's happened. I can't remember, but anyway, yes. He goes, "Oh, flight's delayed indefinitely," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I'm sat here at like, I think it's like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" Anyway, eventually they get a plane. The plane parks up outside, and he goes to me, "Sweet, we're getting on plane." Less than 5 minutes later, he goes, "There's no crew. There's no pilots." I was like, mate. I was just like, of all this time when they try to find a plane, surely they've got a crew on standby. Surely. Anyway, so
I wonder how it works. I wonder if it's like, do you know when you go to school, if the teacher don't turn up in 15 minutes,
I think it is.
you can leave?
I think it is. I think the crew turn up. But I wonder if that day, the crew have to turn up to the airport, and I'm pretty sure they just sat around in crew or whatever there for a certain amount of time. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But, I mean, the only thing I can think of is they've had a few flights delayed where the standby crew actually had to go into another aircraft earlier on. So there's no actual standby crew. Anyway.
Oh, God.
So come whatever time it was, he goes finally got a crew. But this is at like, he's taken off at about 9 o'clock UK time. And it's a 4 hour flight, so you can do the maths, the 2 hour time difference. So he doesn't land until 2 a.m.
God.
But I've obviously had to go get him. It's fine for him because he can sleep. Because I'm driving, he can sleep, he can have beers, he can do whatever. The only issue we had was to get some sleep because we were teeing off at 8 a.m. the next morning. So he lands, and then I finally get in car at like 2 a.m. in the morning. And he goes, I've been doing some research on what? And he goes, should get about 350 quid for that. And I went, what do you mean? He goes, in compensation, because it was over 3 hours delayed. And I was like, you're kidding me, man. You are kidding me. And then, lo and behold, goes and gets 350 quid. Easiest money he's ever made in his life, man.
Well, it's not, he hasn't made the money, he's just got...
He got on the flight, and he just got 350 quid in compensation.
Oh, he got on the flight, didn't he?
Yeah, he's insane. Surely I'm due a bit of that money, having to wait up till 2 a.m.
Bloody hell.
It's a right little maker, honestly. So it's obviously when I was coming back, a really long way around the story, when I was coming back, I was like, oh, come on, just be delayed. Come on, I can do it 300 quid in my bank account.
350 quid.
Because at this point, like, I'm depleted. My bank account's depleted after 10 days of playing golf, honestly. But yeah, I was anyway, landed at 2 a.m. here, which was a bit of a nightmare, but it's all right. So yeah, fun. Cyprus was fun.
It's bizarre how that works, and they can...
It's law, innit? I think it's legislated.
To be fair, the thing that I've heard quite often, the easiest way to make money owning an airline is be a billionaire, and then by the end of it, you'll be a millionaire.
To lose money.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I reckon we should start an airline. Once this gets going a bit, the Wingin airline.
I tell you what, I used to play, and I think we mentioned it, Airline Tycoon. Honestly, that game is unbelievable. Like, the amount of hours. I wish there was just like, you know how Football Manager's got like a big PC version?
Yeah.
I wish Airline Tycoon had a big PC version. Like, that'd be unreal. Because it's on the phone. And
yeah.
honestly, I
had to delete it because, like you said, you spend so many hours.
As well, and some of them you can start, like on the new ones, you start in like 1960. So before you even, like, you're buying like Comets and stuff like that, like the really old like Electras.
They're not very efficient or anything.
Literally, yeah. And obviously, like the world changes, like new places open up. Oh man, the amount of depth you've got to go into just to kind of like, and some of the games are online as well. It's like you're obviously playing against the rest of the world, and there's some people who sweat it like madman. Honestly, I used to love it through like sixth form, and even the early first years of uni.
You'd waste so much time when you.
I might have got first if I'd have.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
If you didn't waste your time on it, that's why I deleted it, most of it.
Yeah, but I wish there was a game like that.
Oh yeah.
I remember the days there was talks of a game that would be incorporated into FSX, obviously back when it was FSX, of like a airline tycoon, but you'd obviously be involved in it because you could fly the routes yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and you'd start off as like having to you'd get given £1 million, right? And with that £1 million, you got to buy a plane of some sorts. You got to apply slots.
You're not buying much with $1 million.
Well, no, but that's the fun of it. You'd have to buy like a Cessna Caravan, or I don't even know if you could afford a Cessna Caravan.
I was about to say.
But you could Cessna 152 then.
You're taking one person.
Yeah, you're running like Amazon parcels out. But like some of that'd be unreal. I'd be so addicted to it. And as well, I love Flight Simulator. I love Flight Simulator, but sometimes I just don't have the time to go on it.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
This is the thing. I've just bought it. After listening to some of the guys on one of the episodes we've recorded with the Pilot Network. Again, you should check it out if you haven't seen it. I think it was episode
3, maybe
3, 4.
3, yeah.
You'll see it in the title.
It's by far the most popular one, which I kind of want to take. I don't have to take offence at that. The most listened episode.
Well, it's definitely not our first ones. It's definitely not our first ones. But no, they recommended it. They said it does help you with training and whatnot. So I ended up going and getting it, and I absolutely love it. But
it's fun, man. It's fun.
I don't have time for it, and I stop myself from going on it just because I do have to. You've got to invest a lot of time into your exams and everything, and plus we've got this going as well and whatnot. But
I bet for those who've already got a job, like i.e. have gone through all the training process, it's just so much fun. Surely.
Oh yeah.
Because you can fly anything, fighter jets. I don't know if there's heli. Well, yeah. I don't know if there's helis, but you can like 747.
There will be soon.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're putting the 37 in, which would be fun because the 37.
Are they?
Because the 37, was the best aircraft in FSX, and I used to love flying it. Because Boeing's, I'm like, man, I love Airbuses. Like, I just think they're so slick. But the Boeing was sick in it. Honestly, it was the most like, it was the best tangible aircraft in there, i.e. everything.
To use?
Yeah, I think so anyway.
Let me do you know what I've been using it for? I've been using it for instrumentation.
Yeah.
I've literally Airbus, autopilot to somewhere, and you can look inside the cockpit, and I've literally been learning where all the bits are.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together to do that.
FMC, because it's fairly realistic, like the buttons and everything. Not all of them are functioning.
No, but in terms of position,
right? You can say this does this does that, and even in the case of getting in a 152 Cessna, things like Wander, and the gyros, and say you're flying in the northern hemisphere west, and you turn the magnet will.
That's the thing,
go
though.
north.
I think with stuff like that,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I think that's.
And you got to know this stuff.
I think a lot of people who are pilots are kind of like kinesthetic learners. Like they learn by doing things.
Yes. And visually.
And I think this is why airlines aren't necessarily when they talk about ATPLs. I don't think airlines are necessarily that bothered about what mark you get, because at the end of the day, I don't test well at all. I've never tested well apart from my GCSEs, but I was obviously like a nerd back then, like proper little nerd. But like I don't test well at all. Like I'm more of a practical guy kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the same with me.
So I think stuff like that, like, but I guess when you look at the training past ATPLs, you look at like MCC or even your IR, a lot of it's sim based, because
where you're actually in there doing it yourself.
Because
it's not a written test.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's obviously some science, some research that's gone into it, which obviously, and hopefully that translates.
Oh yeah.
Well, obviously it is translating because it's been included in training material. So,
but I think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy training to be a pilot and want to be a pilot as well. Is yes, you have to do the tests. Yeah, you got to got to have a good understanding of maths, physics, chemistry to an extent, even biology with HBL.
HBL, man. That was by far the most temperamental subject I had.
Really?
Yeah, I got... and do you know what? This just shows it's the luck of the draw. So basically, I sat my... Like I told you, kind of in person, I sat my ATPLs probably like 2 weeks earlier than I'd like to, purely because of... One, I didn't realise that... I thought you could just book them and just turn them up. That's how naive I was. I didn't realise there were sit-ins. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Until
6 sit-ins.
Yeah, so yeah, I kind of knew... It's not stupid, but I knew there were sit-ins, but I didn't put two and two together in the fact that there's only a school designates a certain amount of dates to have a sit-in. Therefore, you've got to book onto that period of time. I thought you could just book it, turn up to the school.
Yeah, any day.
Whenever you know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until that, and then by that point, when I realised it, I was going away, where I've just come from. I was going to Cyprus, playing golf, so all day, every day, I'm pretty much not in the house. Going to be studying. I'm going to be drinking.
It's a recipe for disaster.
Basically, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I had to kind of squeeze everything into the 2 weeks. And do you know what? Like, I'm really happy with what I got because of the circumstances. But like I say, in HPL, like, I think what HPL showed was it's just luck of the draw sometimes with what tests you get. Because HPL, on one of them, I got 90%. So in the CAA one, I got 90%. Right? But then in my Ostrock and total one, the week afterwards, I think I got like 81%. A 10% swing in 1 week. And you'd think, it's just luck of the draw sometimes.
Yeah. No, I can imagine because, I mean, you experience it when you do the practice tests. Like I've seen on the on BGS, their question bank. You'll be doing one test, absolutely smash it, you'll get really good percentage and you'll be like, nice, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I could have improved here or there. And then the next day, it just shatters your confidence.
Yeah.
Confidence just goes down. And then that's it. And you're like, oh, I should know this. And it just doesn't come to you.
Yeah. A lot of it is confidence. Because I think maybe not so, maybe with HPL, but I mean, stuff with like Gen Nav, Met, I think if you're stumped on a question, I think sometimes you can just think it through and have a best guess kind of thing.
Yeah. And
a lot of that is to do with confidence, because at the end of the day, if you walk into a test and first three questions you're getting absolutely done in, like just naff questions, your confidence goes like that, and then you've got to work hard to come back from that.
Oh yeah. So this is what I was told when you go in there for your test, and this might help some of the viewers or listeners. Well, viewers now.
Or listeners. Yeah.
Just go through the test. Just go through the test and go, right, I know that one, I know that one, I know that one, I don't know that one, don't know that one, leave that.
Basically spend time on the questions you don't know.
Yeah. So, and what I was told is they might put the hardest questions at the beginning.
Yeah.
And that will absolutely shatter your confidence if you spend too much time on that.
I can testify that.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, and that's why you don't have to do it. If you want, start from the end.
Yeah.
And work backwards.
No, I think...
It literally makes no difference.
Obviously, you haven't sat them yet. So, like, my biggest advice to you would be what you've just said in terms of, say you do a test, right? Say, it depends what platform you use in terms of question bank. But spend all your time on the stuff that you don't know. If that makes sense. Don't bother going over... Like, if a test throws you up a question, don't bother just going working it out, if that makes sense. Because you could be spending that time on a question that you don't know, and then that'll come up in the exam. I guarantee it. There were 3 questions in my instrument exam that came up in both exams, and I'd never seen them in the bank before. 3 questions, exact same questions that I'd never seen in the bank before. And whether that's me just not being able to having enough time to kind of bank it and stuff, but like, who knows if I'd have not just...
Were they easy to work out, or was it one of those like, I'm gonna have to guess it here?
Yes, I think one of them you could have worked out, but I think the other 2 were just like, if you knew it, you knew it. If you didn't know, you know it. You didn't know it.
Yeah.
And I think, and who knows, if I'd have maybe spent more time on questions that I hadn't seen, rather than answering the same old, that's that kind of thing, then maybe I'd have seen it. Maybe I'd have got it right. I don't know. But it's all hindsight, and I know going forward now what I've got to do.
Yeah. I think definitely once you get your first exams done, it will make it a lot easier for you in the future with the other sittings, the other sets of exams, and how you go about in doing it. I know for a fact where I've gone wrong now with these ones when I started revising, and that's why it's been almost.
Well, when did you start? I started in March.
I started December.
Yeah,
I never actually
took it seriously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only because I couldn't fully get into it, and the issue was where I went wrong massively. I started writing out all
The notes.
Yeah, I've literally rewritten everything, and it's pointless.
Yeah.
And some people argue, well, it helps them. If it helps you. Fair enough.
It's good writing some notes,
But you don't need to do that.
no, because I think a lot of the content sometimes is just filler.
Yeah.
In a way.
Oh, 100%. 100%
Yeah.
it is filler. And it's pointless because you don't need to know it.
Nah.
You don't need to know it.
It's been a good experience doing it first time around, baptism of fire. Because the problem is, and again, a lot of the content that I consume now is Instagram, and less so aviation YouTube, but like more so Instagram.
Yeah.
And a lot of like the stuff when you come to ATPLs, it's like this is how you smash them, this is how you get 100%. Reality, you're not. The person who's doing it, and this is what annoys me, the person who do it is probably a very intelligent person, right? But that only shows one aspect of their personality. Like that only shows one aspect of them. They might, like say, they might test really well, but like you look at it.
But then again, when it comes to their practical side, they might not do as well.
Well,
But
exactly.
You don't see them recording that section or videoing.
And it's quite unhealthy, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's really unhealthy looking at people like showing all their results where they got like 97s, 96s, 100s, 90. Because then,
I mean, fair enough. If they've done that,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
they worked hard, fair enough.
can I just stress it's not jealousy either?
No.
I'm not jealous because
Show both aspects. How much
Yeah,
time are you putting into it? How much time, what have you done? Like, be transparent.
Yeah.
And then that's fair enough.
Well-
If you're just genuinely intelligent on paper, good.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
yeah.
For instance, I was on my course when I was down in Bristol doing my exams. There was a lad, really, really nice lad, but he'd obviously took a similar approach to us where he'd taken like 8 months to do his first module. Then he just kind of like chilled out.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I think in his first module he said he got like nothing below 90, which was fair play. But then he'd left himself at the point where he was doing his mod 2 exams, obviously at the same time, but he'd left himself 3 months to sit his last exams, and he only had like say 3 months left before his whole 18 months were up.
Really?
Yeah, so he was having to rush big time.
Oh no, that's bad. But see, that time limit only starts from the moment you take your first exam.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
I probably phrased it wrong, but like I said,
Yeah.
he'd taken
First
18
exam
months
and
from his
left 8 months. Right.
Because
okay.
life had got in the way, man.
That's the thing. When I was down there, so while I was down in Bristol, obviously you didn't have this because there was no one else there. They're all online.
Such a
I
loner.
didn't mean to say it like that. Yeah, just alone. No. While I was there was 10 of us in class, 16 online, and I was speaking to them.
What, the online ones?
No. in lesson, and I expected them all to be about our age, or even younger, and all of the average age was probably about 30, 31, 32.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, and when I was speaking to them, they have got busy lives. They've got like full-on jobs, and that's where we're fortunate. But they were saying it's difficult to balance, and you do have to make sacrifices, whether it be work or relationships or seeing friends or enjoying yourself. You do have to make these sacrifices. It's not a big sacrifice to make if it's for 12 months. Because then you've got the rest of your life set where you can do stuff.
Yeah.
You're doing something that you enjoy, that pays well. Maybe time-wise, not always the best. Depends what job you get in aviation. But one thing they did say to me is, if you can, avoid getting in a relationship right now. And I kid you, that's what they all said. And they're not the only people to say that.
Yeah.
They're not the only people to say that.
I guess it's so time-consuming. They're the true heroes. They're like, but. Heroes might be wrong, but like they're true like inspirations, because I'm not gonna lie, at this point in time in my life, if I had a full-time job, I wouldn't be able to kind of like get up at 4 a.m, revise for 2-3 hours, get ready, go to work, come back home, do another 2-3 hours. Mate, they're true inspirations, them lot.
Yeah, and that's what they said. Some of them got families.
Big time. And do you know what? I think, don't get me wrong, I think me and you, we still work hard. Like, obviously, behind the scenes with this, we're kind of trying to work a bit. We've been away. It's been hard. Because we got to align our schedules. But behind the scenes, we're obviously working hard with this. Obviously, I work as well on weekends. You work as well, kind of through the week. So, like, and then to fit in that, we've obviously got to revise on the back of all that. Yep. So I think, don't get me wrong, we graft hard. So it kind of it does annoy me sometimes when people like, in general walks of life, they're just like, yeah, but I don't have time. And it's like, you do have time. You've just got to...
I find myself doing that though. And I stop myself because I'm like, this might be a bit weird. I speak to myself and I'm like, no, you do have time. Stop wasting your time. I'm like, there, it's so easy. You're on your phone, Instagram, boom, or TikTok or YouTube, whatever. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour just gone. And you're like...
And as silly as it sounds, right? I think golf, for me, because I play golf, I've started to play golf anyway, that is just a zen, because it just like kind of, it just takes all the time that I'd be sat at home. Mate, can you just...
Helicopter's just casually hovering right there. That's pretty cool.
Is it coming into land or what? That's not the airfield there. You got about there, sir?
That is a strange approach. That's not the runway in use, by the way.
Well, no, but even so, that's that way.
Maybe they use different approaches.
Anyway, helicopter pilots.
People, eh?
Anyway,
no hate.
No, I mean, I respect them. From what the guys were saying down in Bristol, the heli pilots, like, I won't want to be one of them when something goes wrong.
Oh, no.
What was I saying? What was I talking about?
Sorry, I've
just completely lost my trail of thought.
You were saying about distractions, Instagram and
oh yeah,
and
I think golf has actually taken the time away from when I would be kind of like on my phone, just feet up playing Xbox or whatever. It's taken it away from me.
I'd much rather do golf than waste an hour on TikTok or Instagram.
So everyone, play golf.
If only it were a bit cheaper as well.
Yeah, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Oh man, yeah, it's I think finding the times, it's hard and easy to do at the same time. You got to work hard, but it's easy to find time.
Find the dedication. If you really want something hard enough, if you want it that much, you will find the time.
Big time.
Sometimes you just need the inspiration, and that's what I found, and that's why from December up until about March time, I got nothing done with my ATPLs.
Me too, but fast forward a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I just seem to have lost something was missing, and I don't know what it was, but now it's as if a flame's been it's lit up.
I think
it's been ignited, the fire.
Yeah, I do actually want to talk about going back to Cyprus, because obviously, I don't know if people know, but Akrotiri is the RAF base. Based on Cyprus, it's like massively strategic location. That didn't make sense. It's a very strategic location. That makes more sense. Obviously, because it's placed in the Middle East. Yeah. But our neighbours, they work on the base, and they have done for about 20 odd years. So I went over, and I might have mentioned this, but I don't think what I did mention was we obviously went to their house on the base. Really cool in terms of like it's like Little Britain, but it's like Little Britain, but it looks like America, like a Texas household. Just like palm trees everywhere and stuff.
Yeah.
The actual airport's really cool. Like you just got the Voyagers sat, whatever, just prancing about with the APUs on. And you've got like there's no like real gates to stop you from getting on runway, etc. But anyway, so we got to their house and I didn't know anything about kind of our neighbours' backgrounds, but it turns out the lady Jill, lovely lady, she turns out her dad, I think it was her dad, was in the RAF himself. Obviously was based out of Akrotiri for a couple of years, but that has no correlation as to why they ended up there, which is quite cool.
Right.
I guess it goes in circles. But so we sat in the house and she was obviously telling me about it, and she just kind of walks over to the bookshelf, pulls out a book, gives it to me, and on my lap, and she goes, "Oh, this is his logbook," and she didn't know about flying really.
Yeah.
She didn't really know anything about flying other than she's a bit of a plane spotter, obviously, because she was on base and stuff.
Yeah.
And she's got the fighter jets coming over. But in terms of actual flying, she didn't really know much about it, and she just whacks this book on my lap. She goes, "Have a look at that," and it's a dad's logbook from World War Two, I think World War Two, and unbelievable. Like I felt like I'd be sure I'm wearing them Mickey Mouse white gloves on. You know what I mean? And
when you're touching it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just like, bro, don't rip it. And I was just going through it, and basically what she was explaining was that he'd been, he'd obviously joined the RAF as part of the war effort, but what had happened was he'd been sent out to America quite early on to train them all.
So he was training the Americans?
No, you think he was training the British, but
in America.
He was training somebody, anyway. But she was like, I didn't understand why. She was saying to me that obviously in the past she was like, why? I don't know why he didn't go to fight himself because she'd been told that he was a good pilot. And then obviously it clicked in my head what had happened. And obviously she went on to explain that because he was such a good pilot, he was too much of an asset to the RAF.
Yeah.
So what they did is they kept him back to train other people.
Yeah.
And then sent the disposable, as bad as it sounds, like
the young kids
off, to go fight instead, because obviously if he'd gone and fight,
and they're losing the good ones that can't really train.
But this logbook was fascinating. Like you could kind of see his first training flights all the way to kind of his across like a 6-year period as well. It's not long, and you could see his training flights out of I forget what base it was, but somewhere down south, and you could see him training, and then within about 40 hours he was obviously training other people, and you could just see it was almost like you were reading it, and it was almost like he'd go up with somebody, come back down, they'd hop out, someone else would hop in, he'd go up again. Honestly, it was so much stupid. He'd logged about 700 hours in 3 months.
No
3, 4 months, something like that. Genuinely, like, and obviously now you look
that's crazy. But
you look at airline pilots now, because Alex was saying last week that the average you rack up a year is what, 900 hours.
Yeah, that you're legally allowed to do.
Yeah. But still, they're flying quite a lot. But like this guy, he racked up so many hours.
God, he must have been absolutely shattered at the end of the day, though.
Yeah,
it does doing the same thing, even though you've probably done it 100 times. You do get tired, especially if you've got new students. You got to.
Yeah, but think about the planes they were flying as well. I bet physically they were exhausting.
Oh yeah.
And mentally as well. I was
Plus,
fascinated.
I bet they don't have noise cancelling headset.
No, exactly.
So you're listening to that. He was probably like deaf by the end of the war.
Yeah, bless man. He sounded like
him. That's incredible.
Yeah, this guy sounded. But obviously, that's one guy. I bet there was thousands. There was thousands of people doing that in his position, and then obviously thousands and thousands beyond that.
Don't forget, before World War II, the RAF wasn't as big, and the US Air Force hadn't even been formed. It wasn't a thing. I think it was World War II is when it was newly formed. Perhaps maybe just a bit before.
I find that whole period of time across the first and the second. Sorry, across the second and the First World War of the technological advances of.
That's the thing.
Not just aircraft, but like just technology in general. It is unbelievable.
Well, I mean, to be fair, because I don't think the world would be where it's at now if it wasn't for aviation.
No,
it wouldn't.
No, which is why and this is a bit of a tangent, but that's why when people are like, will aviation survive COVID? Yeah, of course it will do. Because how does the world moves through aviation?
Oh yeah,
parcels, passengers,
and they were still going strong. Parcels like that boomed stronger than ever, obviously, because everyone was at home. Everyone was ordering Amazon and whatnot.
Well, there's the crave for almost instantaneous like ascertainment of a good. Yeah. And the only way you can do that, you can't do it through cargo ships. It takes six weeks to get from China to the UK. Planes though, like you look at the Royal Mail, man. They're flying parcels from Scotland to the south of England.
They've just acquired some drones, you know.
That's gonna be cool.
Yeah, they've acquired some drones to drop parcels off and everything. I can imagine that being a
I think that's a
premium
thing already,
service, though.
I think it's already a thing in China or somewhere over there.
I'm not surprised. Like
Don't
over
wrong.
there, they're so advanced in terms of technology like that.
Japan.
Yeah, because it's so densely populated as well. It just
Yeah.
makes sense.
You've got a lot of great minds working.
But they're opening up routes just for drones. So the Royal Mail. But imagine us just flying out along in a PA-28 and you just see a drone whiz past you.
Golf Charlie Romeo X-rays. You have a drone flying to your right. Imagine trying to spot it as well.
Oh,
Bro,
no,
it's
it's
hard.
definitely bright red. Royal Mail, it's definitely bright red.
Yeah, it'd be
That'd be bizarre.
It's bad enough with gliders, let alone drones.
So do you think it's all automated or someone is on the ground flying it? Like, do you know UAVs?
I think it's the same conversation you have with driverless cars. I think it'd be automated. To be honest with you, I think this is the thing. I don't think people appreciate people throw around like oh, there's not going to be pilots existing in 10 years time. Blah 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 blah. I don't think they realise the true complexity of how an autonomous drone would have to work.
Yeah.
Because pilots ain't ever going to go. Because trust me, if Karen gets on a flight to Alicante, right?
It's always Karen.
Yeah. Right. She's not gonna be happy when there's no one in cockpit. Trust me. Would you fly? Would you fly on a plane that's not got a pilot? I wouldn't. Not until there's like 5, 6, 7, 10 years of development down the line.
It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time.
Decades, if not
Decades.
centuries.
I'm thinking centuries. It's all. Somebody actually said to me the only reason why people are still flying and pilots still have a job is because of humans of that trust level. Of that trust level.
Nothing can beat the human
humans
brain.
know how to judge a scenario.
Oh, second time. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right.
Mate, I can't keep this coffee cup straight.
Humans know how to judge a situation and know, right, is this dangerous? Yeah, computers do. Just like TCAS. TCAS 2, they can
TCAS
communicate.
isn't automated unless it's in autopilot, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, like whether you got a transponder in mode C and they can do, traffic advisory and then resolution advisory modes and whatnot.
But this is the thing, and I could go back to your point in a second, but like there was an accident down in, I want to say Farnborough, where TCAS on like a business jet, I think it was carrying Osama bin Laden's family.
Really?
Yeah, and they were flying into Farnborough.
What are the odds?
It's a bit weird, yeah. And,
a bit coincidental, eh?
Yeah, and
I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm not laughing because of that. I'm just...
No. Yeah, I know what you mean though. But like the pilot, he was a single pilot in one of the business jets, and TCAS was like going off at him because obviously he's flying into Farnborough and there's a lot of GA traffic around. Yeah. And he was getting, I think he had 3 TCASs in the space of about 30 seconds. And obviously he'd reacted to all these TCASs, and he'd survived the TCAS like alerts.
So obviously there were resolution advisory alerts.
Yeah, I can't remember the full details, but probably RAs, yeah. And he'd done that, but then he got himself into such a panicked, kind of highly aroused state that when he was on approach, he was too high, too fast, whatever, the typical. And obviously he's by all accounts, he's put it down more than halfway down the runway. Not aborted, and he's just gone, and obviously he's not been able to brake in time. But this is the thing, I think technology's like use can be so overrated and so overhyped compared to the human brain.
I mean, there was this story about TCAS over Brazil, and
wait, is this business jet and passenger jet?
I can't remember.
Where they clip wings?
No. Oh, they might have done. I don't know, but they crashed.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Oh,
they crashed into each other.
Oh.
Yeah, so basically what had happened is one aircraft was changing frequencies. And you know when they changed the transponder to...
alt?
No, not alt. How have I forgotten? Basically, they turn it off so it's not emitting a radio frequency.
Yeah.
Because they're changing frequencies to get another transponder code from the other frequency who they're on. And what they'd basically forgotten to do is to turn it on to alt or on, and they left it on standby.
Yeah.
Standby. They put it on standby. They left it on standby. Now, if a transponder's on standby, that means the other transponder in any other plane can't pick it up because it's not transponding. It's not sending out any signals or receiving. And
squitter.
Yeah,
that's what they call it.
The other aircraft that was on a head-on collision with this one, theirs was working, but they wasn't picking up anything.
So there's no TCAS.
They ended up colliding, and because God has a funny sense of humour, the ones who were transmitting and weren't in the wrong, were doing everything right, everyone on board eventually died, and everybody on board the aircraft that did the wrong thing survived.
Was it GOL? GOL?
I'm not sure. I just know the story. It might have been.
Because
it might have been, one of them might have been.
The story rings a bell because there was something where they clipped wings and like it was a business jet and a passenger jet, and obviously the business jet came off worse. Oh no, sorry. I can't remember. One of them, but I don't think it is actually.
I don't know, but that's the thing that a lot of people always like to say, especially ones that probably are more for automated flight and everything, is that 80% or 90% of all crashes now are due to pilot error, which, yes, is true. Statistically.
Yeah.
That's because over the years, humans have worked so much on getting the automation right that, you know...
But the one thing I would say to combat that point, or be devil's advocate or whatever, is that say you take human error out, there's still going to be error. Nothing's ever error-free.
Yeah.
Nothing, ever.
Yeah.
Mate, look at going back to autonomous cars. Mate, there's people dying in autonomous cars, even in the testing phase. Because like, look at Tesla, right? Tesla's semi-autonomous in terms of like when you're changing lanes or like automatic braking. It doesn't work in some circumstances.
Yeah, it just turns off or whatnot.
I've seen a video where they were putting it was a bit of a silly video, but like they were putting like car-shaped cardboard boxes in front of this Tesla and driving at certain speeds, 70 miles an hour, from like 20 all the way up to 70. Past 30 miles an hour, it's not effective at all in stopping. It's really not.
Really?
Yeah, and even
that means there's always room for improvement.
Of course, but how long have we been talking about autonomous cars, let alone autonomous planes?
Yeah, because there's always that... I don't know. That's what I mean, like...
To those of you who say autonomous flight is very close, you're lying. You liar, you activist.
I'm not even going to do that. I'm not.
Yeah. To be fair, you're more placed to do it.
That's what I mean.
Didn't you realise?
Should we just take a quick coffee break?
Yeah, man. I need a top up soon as I spill half it on me.
Yeah.
But yeah. And we are back. Coffee updated.
Yeah. We were just mentioning earlier about automated flight and everything. But yeah, no, it'll definitely be a few years.
At least.
Many years. But I genuinely do think this next millennium for aviation,
It'd be pretty cool.
I think a lot's going to happen.
Millennium?
Sorry?
Millennium?
Yeah, the next 100 years.
That's not a millennium. That's a century.
Oh, God.
Millennium's 1,000 years.
Yeah, no, definitely in 1,000 years, I'd expect a lot to happen.
Yeah.
No, I meant century. It's always something. It's always something.
Pilot.
Yeah, well... I get the mick taken out of me at work sometimes. Like, I'll do a mistake or I'm not thinking straight and people like say, oh, you're going to be flying and instead of going to like Paris from London, you're going to be in Edinburgh. Yeah. And that actually happened though, didn't it? BA flight. Instead of going to Amsterdam.
How?
From London, they ended up travelling to Edinburgh.
How? I don't
me.
understand how stuff like this happens. I really don't.
I don't actually know. I reckon, have you ever been in that situation where you've been like, you've been there, you're meant to do something, and in your head, you start thinking about something else, like completely opposite, but it's kind of related. And then you end up doing that one thing or saying that one thing that you were thinking about. Yeah. So maybe they were thinking, oh, what are we doing? What flights is tomorrow? Oh, Edinburgh. And they end up putting Edinburgh into the...
I still don't know how it's possible.
Is it the CDU? No. It's not the CDU.
FMC.
FMS.
MCDU. Multi-MD. Why is there so many letters, man?
So many
I know what you mean.
abbreviations.
MCDU are definitely the 4 letters that are involved in that.
Yeah.
Multi-control display unit, something like that.
They put it into the FMS though, don't
Yeah,
they?
it goes into the FMS.
Yeah. Using the MCDU.
Yes, that's it, MCDU.
That's it.
When you say it in your own head though, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah. So maybe they just put Edinburgh in, got ready for it, even though the flight plan was for Amsterdam, and just ended up going...
Nah, I still don't see it.
Well, what other way?
Just idiots.
Idiot.
I don't know.
Maybe they had a bit of a domestic at home, or girlfriends or boyfriends just split up with them, or...
Don't be sexist. Yeah, nah.
No, it's just 90%.
That's actually something I'm touching on it. I've tried to send a few messages out, but no one's replied to me yet. I want to get this is such a loner. I want to speak to someone, a woman in the industry who's like at the pinnacle of like a career. I'd love to, because I want to know if they're at the pinnacle of the career, because I think only recently the whole women in aviation movement's kind of stepped up in terms of not just women in aviation, women in engineering, etc., etc. I'd love to speak to someone who's probably like, I don't know, like 20, 28, 29, who's obviously gone through the whole thing and is flying for an airline or whatever. I'd love to know like what their experience would be.
Even ones that are further on, like captains and
well, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, there's just,
now you've mentioned it, I've got a few in mind that would be great. They've got a lot of experience in Europe.
I just love it. I just love to know like the challenges they faced, how they found
I think
training, because obviously there's clearly a stigma. Is it stigma? Is that the right word? Stereotype maybe to a pilot.
It's I've actually heard it. Obviously, I haven't experienced it because I'm not a woman, but I've heard people say it just in conversation. And one of them was, I'm quoting here, the person goes, oh, I wouldn't want a woman flying me, like I don't feel safe. And I thought, everybody, it doesn't matter who or what you are, everybody's trained to the same standard. If you're passing the training, you can fly.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can do it, fair enough.
Do you know what I'd say as well, right?
It doesn't matter who you are.
Do you know what I'd say? The best landing I ever had was from a female first officer. She absolutely buttered it, man. Yeah. Honestly, buttered it. Nice. Honestly, yeah, it was just like...
I actually read somewhere that... And they were taking the mick out of a well-known airline, European low-cost airline, for hard landings. And they were saying, like the reason why it's hard landings is because they're not well-trained, they're not... because it's so low cost to get the cheapest pilots. Well, I don't think that's the case.
No, mate.
And these are people like fear-mongering, in a way. It's like the media they don't fully understand. But apparently a hard landing is on a 737, Boeing tell you to do a firm landing. I don't know why. And that's something we need to ask any 737 pilots out there.
I guess one, energy dissipation. So if you're flying into a small or a short...
Well, that's the thing. That's the reason why I understood. Like,
there must be another reason, but
to get off the runway quicker for times, turnarounds, and everything, and that's why they use full reverse thrusters.
We should do. It's going to take a bit of research, or possibly you can get someone on who's like a kind of an industry economist. I love to know the ins and the outs of.
We need to get Michael O'Leary on.
Good luck with that. But I'd love to.
We'll make it happen.
I'd love to. Know the ins and outs of running a low cost and how they work and like the whole economics behind it and stuff, because I think it's fascinating, man. Fascinating. Like, cause I think Alex was saying last week that like there was talk that they use like max braking just to get off the runway at the first exit point, or the most like economical exit point. Like that's genius.
It's crazy how it makes a difference.
It's genius, and also it's really fascinating.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd love to find out what.
And then it's the little things that make such a massive difference in aviation, like getting off at the first taxiway on the runway. It gives you 5-minute difference, 10 minutes. And
did you know as well? I only found out during instrumentation. You know your Hobbs meter?
yeah.
It runs on RPM. It don't run on time.
Yeah. No. And I've been rushing on the taxiway. I shouldn't be saying this.
Yeah.
I get told off all the time for speeding on the taxiway.
Yeah.
More often
Don't get me
than
wrong,
not.
I think it's easy to do. It is easy
But
to be faster.
hang on, it depends on the aircraft and what
Yeah,
the
of course.
schools. Because one of my schools that I go to, it's an
God, are
airborne.
you cheating?
Huh?
Cheating.
No, it's
One of
I said, no, I only go to one school. At the club, it's different. They use airborne hobs, so it's only at a certain speed. Airborne,
No, the Hob meter starts. Well.
yeah,
That's clever.
which makes sense because at an international airport you can spend a lot of time taxiing
On ground,
yeah, and you're wasting time.
That's very clever, actually.
I didn't know that, so I've been speeding along there.
So why don't you just fly from there all the time?
Do you
In
know
fact,
what?
no, then
I
again,
genuinely
actually.
don't know why, because it's good practice. The only thing is, yeah, you got to drive there. It's a bit longer. It's not as close as the club,
Yeah.
but you don't pay for the taxi.
But you also don't get the hours. It's win-lose, isn't it, I guess?
No, you do get the hours because they add it on
Oh, yeah, of
to your
course,
price. They add it on to the price. It's still fuel you're using, isn't it? I don't know. It's different. It's easier flying from the club, not an international airport. It's different.
It's a good experience, I think.
Yeah, different size runway as well, because you've got to be more precise, and that does make a difference. You'll learn about it in your PPL and your ATPL about
I'm yet to experience it, actually. Like, properly.
about the runway width and length.
Yeah.
and
Well,
slope.
I don't think I've experienced it properly. I know I've flown into Teesside and Humberside.
Yeah.
But weirdly enough, the Pappies.
Yeah,
With the Pappies, you don't really like.
that's
too-
the thing.
You're too busy, like, not too busy concentrating, but you're looking at the Pappies, so you've always got a reference point if you're high or not. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, if they didn't have the Pappies, then maybe I'd experience it.
My instructors called me out on that. He said because I was especially during the night rating, which you said you're going to do this year.
Hopefully.
Yeah. He made air traffic control switch all the lights off apart from the runway edge lights. I did say to him, he goes,
What a harsh guy.
no, because he said, oh, I'm going to make it a bit more difficult. I'm going to take the Pappies off. I said, switch all the lights off. That's what
You said that?
Yeah.
Why?
And I said, because.
Well, how do you know where you're going?
No, wait. They're not allowed to switch the runway edge lights off otherwise.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I said switch
Ball
them
job.
most, or like the runway center lights, everything.
Airport lights off. Toilet lights off.
Imagine
making that call. Yo, Mr. Janitor, can you turn toilets off, bro?
Yeah, it's too much of a good indication. No, I said switch them all off because if I'm ever flying at night to an airfield, yeah, it's a big runway, but you're not going to have all this fancy stuff.
Yeah, I get it.
You don't have Pappies here, do you?
It's good experience. Like we were talking about last time out.
Oh, no, you do.
There's Pappies here?
Yes, but they're not. I don't think. Are they called Pappies? There's only two.
Yeah, there's two different types, yeah.
There's only two lights
It
instead
just
of
tells you
four.
if you're high or low. Probably. There is another name for it, I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
It's a less accurate Pappy.
Yeah, basically.
Probably not the name. LA Pappy. Less accurate Pappy. Precision approach.
Yeah.
Precision approach. Wait, what's the PAP mean?
Precision approach.
What does the PA mean at the end?
PI.
PAP. Oh yeah, PA, yeah.
I don't know.
Precision approach. Path indicator.
Is it?
Probably indicator. My God. We actually look so dumb.
Yeah, no. It's because
One, I'm under
I've got no
pressure.
excuse.
I'm under pressure. Two, I've been away playing golf, so you know what I mean.
You're just throwing out
Three,
excuses
I
now.
probably woke up about an hour ago, so
Yeah.
allow it.
Any more?
I could list them off. I'm driving a 4K. Brain's been rattled about. But yeah.
What? Yeah. So I can't remember what I was saying.
About
my train of
Pappy.
Night flying, switching off the lights, instructors.
Oh,
flying,
yeah.
the Hobbs meter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Do you have to fly the head torch on?
Yes, I had to buy one. You can borrow mine if you want. You have to have a red light. A red light so you see.
That's sick, though. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, they do. They do it in military. I think military's green in it.
I doubt it because
There's a light that the military use. I can't remember.
that's night vision is green with the heads up display.
Oh, maybe I'm
basically
seeing-
they've got it built into their helmet.
No, I tell you what I'm seeing. You know when film cameras film night vision.
Yeah,
I think I'm getting confused with
It's green, isn't
the
it?
green. Yeah, you're right. I think they use red, or they use a form of red because they can see the maps better or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
It does make a difference, believe it or not.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
The human body, eh?
It does take a while for your eyes to get adjusted.
30 minutes.
The
right?
worst part is when, obviously, it depends where you go flying and do your training. At an international airport, you'll have the runway, the apron lights, and they're bright. You know them really tall lights, just spotlight floodlights.
Who's the actor who landed on the taxiway?
Huh?
Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford.
Mate, innit?
Yeah.
What a mental guy. He's landed on a golf course and a taxiway.
No, the golf course was because it was an emergency.
Yeah, but still, he's landed on a golf course. He's landed on a
Yo,
taxiway.
that's probably the best place to land, though.
Oh wait, I watched a video on TikTok or something the other day of a guy landing on a golf course. Mate, the golfers, right? We're just playing. They saw the plane goes, oh bloody hell! And then one of them gets out of the way. They was just finished off their shot, and then the guy goes, yeah, "Your best move, lads. Your best move." And I swear to God, it's like the nearest miss you'll ever see. But like, they didn't even panic. They were just like, "Oh right, okay." Well, just kind of strolled off to the
England?
side. Yeah,
Ah, of course.
I think it was England. They had a British accent anyway.
So we're not surprised. They were like, I'm going to finish this.
Honestly, mate, it was like, yeah, one sec, lad. Took his swing. Honestly, I was just like, mate, I'd be running for the hills if I saw it. And then there was another one, right? We should genuinely do a reaction video to some of these TikToks. There's another one, and there was a guy just laid, like, kind of on his back in a field, phone camera like that. It's almost like laid horizontal on his back, like film camera like that. And you can see the plane kind of dive like that. And he obviously levels off probably like 10 foot above the ground, and just flies directly over him, mate. Yeah, it's crazy.
What?
Yeah.
What? And this guy just laid there.
He's just laid there filming it, and I swear to God, like, you won't see on camera, but like where the ceiling is there.
10 foot above?
Not even that. Probably where the ceiling is here.
Yeah.
He's lit up floor, ceiling's there. That's how low the plane is.
Obviously, that's illegal.
It was probably America, so like they get away with anything over there.
Do they? I thought the FAA was a lot stricter than the CIA.
Are they?
Who knows? Do you know what we actually do need to do? Is get the CA on here to clear up any questions. Like any viewers or listeners out there have got any questions for the CA or want something sorted, send them our way.
You need to ask your invigilator
on,
next time you're there. No, when you go out of Bristol to take your exams,
They won't know.
Yeah, they will. They work for the CA.
Yeah, I know, but it's like...
No, but they personally might not know, but I mean, they'll have contacts, man.
Maybe.
Should have a sweet talk, and you might get a few extra marks as well.
It's all automated. What are they going to do? Let me just hack into this and just change it for you.
Honestly, that is the most chill job they do. They just sit there. I don't know what they do. Mine was just like faffing around on a laptop. Other one, Austro, just reading a book.
Austro is so
Chilled out,
like relaxed. Apparently,
Yeah.
You can bring all sorts. Well, to an extent, obviously, in there with
I
you
don't know.
and whatnot.
It was a weird one because the one thing I would say about Austro is there wasn't much like you get talks like if you go to Gatwick, like it's very like secure in terms of the fact that they look through everything. Austro,
with
I just mean
CA.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But like, I went to Austro and they just like quickly flick through your Jefferson. That's it.
It's the fact that they actually let you bring it in.
Yeah, no, mate.
CA don't. You got to just bring.
I think for flight planning you're allowed it.
No, only the charts. ELO 1, ELO 2, and
For CA?
That's what we were told.
Mate,
Wait, did you bring it in?
No, but I saw somebody bring it in to my CA exam.
That's strange.
I mean, don't get me wrong, she looked through it
Yeah.
to make sure there were notes, but mate, bro,
Maybe we'll have to.
there's a few stories about that which we could actually speak on a different episode. Like the amount of stories that I've heard of people cheating in CA exams and the ways they do it as well is quite phenomenal.
The thing is, how I see it is, there's no point in cheating.
You just cheat.
It's going to sound really cheesy, but you're cheating.
Is cheating. It's cheating.
But
You're
you're
cheating
risking,
yourself.
forget cheating yourself and you're not feeling as good about it, whatever. You're risking your life and passengers. If you don't know something later on
Have you
down
seen
the
Catch
line,
Me If You Can?
Yeah.
I've never seen the film, but I've heard it's mental.
That,
it's a true story as well.
Catch Me If You Can is one of the reasons from a kid, when I watched it as a kid.
Because you want to be a womanizer?
No.
It's just the way you were like,
among other things. I was so excited then.
yeah, no, I was just going to try and catch you out when you were like, nudging me, like, yeah.
Why I wanted to be a pilot, and it is for a lot of people
I get that.
out there, because it
Hollywood,
kind of
man.
glamorizes it. What it was like in the golden era. Yeah, it was like that. A lot of people say it's not like that anymore, but it's still cool. And that was, again, like I said, that was one of the reasons why, as a child, it inspired me.
I must say as well, before we go,
among other things.
Yeah, I get it. Before we go, because we're kind of hitting on the hour, knocking on the hour mark now. What I would say is, obviously from my flight back, I downloaded loads of stuff. There's so many cool AvGeek documentaries now on Prime and Netflix.
Amazon did another one on the Max.
I was meant to watch it, but I was too
Max.
busy nodding off and getting elbowed by the guy next to me.
That's
another story. Yeah, that's one. And then they've just released Netflix has just put together a DB Cooper documentary. Unreal, like
really.
It's cool because it's like it's a whole other side to the story that I didn't know about, because it's talking about it kind of follows. I've only watched 2 episodes so far. I think there's 4.
We spoke about it in episode 4.
Yeah. So it's just, obviously it follows the story, but they've got like the guy who is basically a private investigator, and he obviously was working on the story, but he started to document his like kind of investigation into it. So it kind of follows that. It kind of entwines the actual story, entwines all the current theories, all the past theories. It gets like New York Times reporter who's obviously followed the case. Mate, it is phenomenal, and the way they've put together is unbelievable. Like, because obviously this happened in the.
They make it so cool.
Was it 60s, 70s, something like that?
Yeah.
Or maybe it wasn't the 80s, but 70s for sure. I think it was. And like the whole
74.
theming of the documentary is very like Art Deco-y kind of.
Yeah.
Oh mate,
Just the way they lay it out is cool.
Nailed it, mate. It is so cool. But yeah, you'll have to watch that before we do the next pod. Or
yeah, no, definitely.
If we don't record on after this.
I've watched the 7.3 one.
I've not yet. Like I say, I've got it downloaded on my phone, but I've not watched it yet, so I'll have to watch that one. You watch DB Cooper.
Yeah, then we'll be sorry.
But yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that one.
Yeah, no,
leave it there.
It's been a good little catch up. We've got more planned. Got more to come. Now we're in the new studio. We've got the recording, we've got the visuals.
Well, to touch on that as well, we're planning to, obviously we're going to put this on YouTube. So
YouTube.
We've also got some stuff planned
TikTok,
for YouTube.
Instagram.
Twitter maybe. Facebook.
We definitely do. Yeah, we're definitely going to do Twitter.
Facebook,
it's a definite.
But yeah, definitely.
Sure about Facebook, but
whichever platform you watch us on, follow, like and subscribe, as they say. And also give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and Amazon and Apple, because they
I didn't know that was the thing.
Ratings thing. Yeah.
Give it a 5.
But yeah, share. We've also got an email, thewinginitpod@gmail.com. Fire any questions over.
Or confessions. Anonymous confessions.
I really want to
pilots. Flight attendants as well.
Yeah. I really want to do a video, like a Reddit video kind of thing.
Yes.
But there's no threads. There's no threads, so we need our own stories.
We're also going to start a Reddit and make that thread.
Yeah, please. I just want to know some hot little stories. But yeah, we got some, especially for the YouTube, we got some stuff planned, which hopefully quite like, probably like once a week video wise. Obviously, we'll upload this there. Yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to. So it's been a pleasure, Matteo.
Yeah, no, it's been great, and definitely stay tuned.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Goodbye.
Adios.